with some analysis on this. Thanks very much for being with us. So, first of all, what do you take from today's developments, this targeted attack on the Hezbollah commander coming only a couple of days after those attacks on the devices used by Hezbollah members in Lebanon?
Well, this particular attack is probably aimed at getting the green light from the U.S. because, as you said in your previous reporting, there is a bounty from the U.S. on this particular person. So I think they're trying to say to the Americans, we're trying to help you also with the people that you don't like. And so please allow us to continue in our war against Hezbollah. The problem is that unless there is troops on the ground, there will not be any change in the strategic situation. The strategic situation requires Israel to put troops on the ground, and that will require, that will cause a major loss of life, and the Israelis are reluctant to do that. They continue to hit from the air, and they mostly injure and kill civilians because most of the combatants are protecting themselves. So yes, this issue is going to hurt Hezbollah just like the pager issue has hurt them, but it's not going to cause them to totally surrender. They have a long way of fighting, and they're actually getting a lot of support now, even from the Lebanese government. So I don't think it's going to change the game. They're not game changers. The game changer will be if the Israelis decide to go on the ground. That's the big question.
How much pressure is there on Hezbollah to respond to this in a more meaningful way, if I could put it that way? Because up to now, they've been very calibrated and measured in their responses and their attacks on Israel, perhaps mindful of the desire not for this to escalate too much. But given these, as I said, the series of attacks over the last couple of days this week, and now this targeted strike inside Beirut on a top Hezbollah commander, how much pressure will there be within the public that support Hezbollah in Lebanon to strike further on Israel?
I think there's a lot of pressure on Hezbollah to react, but I think Hezbollah also is trying to balance between the need to react and the need to survive. And I think they realize that unless they are willing to take the ground force, and they are, I think they will continue to attack in the same way. They will attack Israel by rockets, and the Israelis will attack them by airplanes and drones. And unless there's ground forces, I think this is not going to really produce any change on the ground. Nasrallah said that the Israelis will not be able to go back to north of Israel, and until there is a ground war, there will not be a return to the north by the Israelis. So I think there will be a kind of a political stalemate unless there is a ground offensive. If there's a ground offensive, then you have to expect that the army will have to pay a very big price. And as far as it looks, the army has not given the green light for a ground offensive. That's the big question that everybody's waiting for.
If, as you say, there's going to be a political stalemate, then how many more of these cross-border attacks between Israel and Hezbollah are we likely to see then in the near future?
Well, the stalemate will be in favoring Hezbollah, because Hezbollah's goal now is to either get the Israelis to have an agreement in Gaza and then they will stop, or that the Israelis realize that they're not going to be able to bring their own people back to the north. That's the big question. And I think the Israelis realize, or they think, that they can do targeted assassinations and a very heavy bombardment, and Hezbollah will just give in. And I think they're wrong on this one.
All right. Good to get your thoughts on this, Daoud Kuttab. Thanks very much for being with us.
You're welcome.